Thank you for asking this wonderful question. It requires little explanation, and I would urge your audience and your readers for their indulgence. Most of Islam is defined by the cultures that it started, it prevails, or it prospered, or even today. You go to the Arab world mostly because it initiated from the Arab world, has an imprint of Arabic culture. For example, I give you just a very basic example, because we are taught as Muslims there are two sources of your faith. One is the Holy Quran, the Holy Book, and the tradition of the Prophet, peace be upon him, who lived after the proclamation of Islam 23 years. He had one daughter, but he had altogether 4 daughters and 4 children, and one daughter lived, Fatima. Ali, his uncle's son, wanted to marry Fatima. Now, this is taking place in Arab culture 1400 years ago. He comes to Prophet and expresses his interest in marrying his daughter. And that is how I derived the lessons of my faith. Prophet didn't say to him, "Fine, I will marry her," or "she will marry you," or makes the decision. He said, "Fine, thank you." He immediately goes to his daughter and tells her, "Ali has asked to marry you." In that transaction lies the answer of the status of women for Muslims. In that one gesture of Prophet's going to the daughter, granting her the dignity of decision. Ask any Muslim, do they practice that in their families? Majority of Muslims don't. And that is what the world sees. That is what the world has become to know about Islam, the cultures that have placed the imprint of that culture on Islam. And she honors him by saying that I would be honored if you would approve of this decision. And he approves, and then she is married. In that transaction by the Prophet of Islam, we were taught, Muslims were taught to practice that dignity of consulting, consent, status. But Muslim world has not really learned those basic precepts, basic concepts. And for that reason, I don't blame America or Westerners to misunderstand, because they want to see, well, so you talk about this, where is it practiced? Where some of us do practice still. When I met Ghazala, I met in a university environment. I didn't go to her or to her parents and say, I want to marry her. Respecting the culture, granting the dignity and the respect to her family and to my family, I expressed that interest to my family. They then went and contacted Ghazala's family, and then this whole marriage matter was resolved, was concluded. What I mean to say that there are individual examples. I only could cite my own, but I know there are wonderful Muslims that practice their faith with clear understanding, but not as majority. So this misunderstanding about Islam is for the most part, the blame lies with Muslims, not reflecting the true spirit of Islam, the true meaning of the faith, and this may be a right time. I'm recently reading a book, and this has become my near future project. And the book is called The Covenants of the Prophet Muhammad with the Christians of the World.